Hi everyone, my name is Cameron and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I own at the moment that are at the top of my priority list. I'm not going to do monthly TBRs on this channel because I just tend not to stick to them. They're not really my thing. I'll only really do one if I'm participating in a month-long readathon, which to be honest doesn't happen that often. So what I thought I would do instead is every once in a while just sit down and talk about some of the books that I have on my TBR shelf that are ones I'm most excited to read. This video idea was kind of stolen from Kat, from Catty Tastic. She does these videos instead of monthly TBRs and I really like that idea of just every so often doing a what's at the top of my TBR. So here it is, I've stolen it. So all of these books are ones that I own at the moment. This will probably change once I get new books and they'll probably slot in because I get excited about new books. But at the moment, for this current moment right now, these are the books at the top of my priority list. Let's just get into them. I've done enough explaining. So the first one is The King's Men by Nora Sakavic. This is the third and final book in the All to the Game trilogy. If you saw either my Reading Rush vlogs or my July wrap up, you'll know how much I really enjoyed it, especially the second one in the trilogy, The Raven King. So I've got this one. There is a bookmark in it, but it's not even anywhere. I haven't started this book yet. I just put it in because this is the book I'm literally about to start as soon as I finished filming this video. I'm going to start this. I'm very excited about it. The All for the Game trilogy is about a boy called Neil who gets recruited into this college team that plays this fictional sport called Exy. And all of the members of this team have very traumatic pasts and Neil is no exception. And he has to try and play this sport. The rest of the people in their league, I don't know, are very successful teams and he has to try and compete against them. And also has to try and not necessarily befriend, but just survive amongst this group of very traumatized people, most of which are very violent and or horrible to him. I'm really excited about this one. I think it gets queer. I think in this one the romance starts to develop, is what I've heard. So I'm very excited about this. So you'll definitely hear me talk about this in my August wrap up, so if you're interested, stick around for that. So the next book that I plan to read is The Divine Comedy, obviously by Dante. This is a compilation of Dante's three main works, the Inferno, the Purgatorio and the Paradiso. If you somehow don't know, Dante is an ancient Greek philosopher. These three books, compiled into one, are written in verse about how he believes hell, purgatory and heaven to be. I plan to study philosophy and psychology at uni, so this is kind of a mandatory read for me. I'm also really interested in it. I've heard like obviously really good things. I know like what happens in them. I've seen like summaries and stuff, but I've never read the actual work. I'm sure it will be great because it's Dante. The next book I have here is Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. I really like Shauna Maguire's work. I love the Wayward Children series and I especially love Into the Drowning Deep, which is written under her pen name Mira Grant. I've heard excellent things about this book and it sounds exactly like my kind of thing. I've heard it's creepy and atmospheric and a kind of like magical realism but spooky. From what I understand, it's about twins who either try and make themselves or someone tries to make them into gods. And to be honest, I don't want to know anything else. Every person I've heard talk about this book has said they knew nothing going into it and they were so happy about that. And I'm one of those people who also really like not knowing anything going into books, especially ones like these. I'm so excited about this. I think I'm really gonna like it. This next one, I'm actually kind of embarrassed that I haven't even read yet. I talk a lot about how much I love Dark Academia on this channel and how much If We Were Villains is one of my favourite books of all time. In my last wrap up, I think I read at least 2 Dark Academia. We all know that I love Dark Academia here. And one of the most famous and most well-loved Dark Academias is The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and I have not read this yet. I don't know how I haven't read this yet. I'm kind of scared, only because I know it's so popular, and because I really want to love it. I don't know much, once again, I don't like knowing too much going into books, but I think this is about a group of college kids, or maybe postgrad, I'm not quite sure, who are studying classics, and I'm pretty sure there's a murder involved. That's all I needed to know. I can't wait to read this. I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. I really hope I like it, but I should be reading it very, very soon. I know loads of people love this. This is a lot of people's favourite book, and to be honest, there's a high chance it could become one of my favourites. This is definitely a 5-star prediction for me, but I'm also scared. The next one I have is Freuds Introduction to Psychoanalysis. This is a non-fiction by one of the most famous psychologists of all time, Sigmund Freud, who developed the psychodynamic approach, which is one of the most famous approaches in all of psychology. He was a weird bloke. I've studied some of his stuff and it's crazy, so I can't wait to read this. I don't really believe in what he says, but I just think it's really interesting to learn about, so I'm excited to read this. I don't tend to get along with non-fiction too much, to be honest. I try and I find a lot of it really interesting, but I just find it hard to sit down and read something without like a plot. So hopefully I'll be able to get into this. I do think I will once I start it. It's just starting it. There are a couple more non-fictions on this list, not too many, but this is definitely one of them. The next one I have is a very popular book, and that is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This, if you don't know, is a young adult sci-fi about a squadron of space people, what are they called, of like space cadets, I think that's the term they use, and they've just graduated from flight school and they're kind of the worst of the bunch apart from the leader. The leader was late to graduation because he was busy rescuing this girl from this space crash or space wreck, I don't know, and so he gets the worst crew. And it turns out this girl he was rescuing stowed away on his ship and they have to sort that out. I don't really know. That's the very vague synopsis I've heard. Once again, I don't like going into stuff knowing too much. That's all I know about this. I am very excited though. I've read some of Jay Kristoff's stuff, like the Nevernight Chronicles, which is one of my favourite trilogies of all time. I have read the first book in the Illuminae files, but I read it during a reading slump, so I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. I should have just waited and read it when I was in a reading mood, but I didn't, and that ruined the experience for me, which is, you know, really annoying. This also feels kind of more my thing, like a group of friends going on missions is kind of more my thing. So I'm very excited to read this. I've heard absolutely amazing things about this, like I have about most of these, and I'm very excited. The next one I have is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I wasn't actually very interested in this book. Obviously it's very popular, and I wasn't very interested in it until I heard it marketed as dark academia. As we've already discussed in this video, I'm a big fan of dark academia, so when I heard that description I was like, oh, maybe I will like it. And so I looked a bit deeper into it and now I'm very interested in it. This is about a girl called Stevie who goes to a very elite private school because she's very interested in true crime, and she starts researching this mystery that happened a very long time ago, and the themes of this mystery are starting to reoccur in the present day. So it's a dual timeline. I've heard amazing things about it. I don't read too much mystery, which is why I wasn't very interested in this in the first place, but I've heard that this is a great one, so I'm excited. Next one I have here is Richard Dawkins' The God Delusion. Richard Dawkins is in my opinion, a really great philosopher slash scientist. I read his book, The Selfish Gene, and I really enjoyed it. I'm actually this far through. I started this and then stopped for a readathon or another and then didn't pick back up again. This, as you can probably tell by the title, is Richard Dawkins' furious denial of the existence of God. He is absolutely hilarious. His writing is just really funny and sarcastic and, to be honest, kind of offensive, especially if you are a Christian, but I just find him absolutely hilarious. I really enjoy reading his stuff. I'm excited to crack into this. So far I'm really enjoying it. I just need to... I'm really not in the non-fiction mood at all at the moment, so I need to get back into it. Yes, okay. The next one is another non-fiction, and that is The Problem of Evil and the Problem of God by D.Z. Phillips. This ties very nicely into my philosophy and ethics course that I'm doing for A-level. If you don't know, The Problem of Evil is like a philosophical debate about whether the existence of evil contradicts the existence of the Christian God. D.Z. Phillips is a very influential modern philosopher, so I'm excited to see what he says about it and maybe steal some quotes to put in my essays. This is one I've borrowed from school, so I need to read it before the summer ends. The next and final one I have here is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. This is a gorgeous edition of this book. I just wanna give you a quick glimpse. It's very pretty, very shiny, and the without the dust jacket, it is truly beautiful. Oh, very pretty. This is the Illumicrate edition, and I can't stop gushing about how gorgeous it is. This, from what I know, I think is a retelling of Les Mis. And that's all I really needed to know. I'm a big fan of Les Mis. I have a special place in my heart for it because we were performing it the day before lockdown started in the UK, so it was very tense. We didn't do it how we wanted to. We couldn't perform it properly. It had to be filmed and then the recording sent off to people who wanted to watch it. But it was a really good time, and it's definitely a memory I'll hold forever. So Les Mis has a special place in my heart, so I'm excited to read this. This is definitely a loose interpretation, I think. I don't know too much about the actual plot of this, just that it's a loose retelling of Les Mis, and to be honest, that's all I needed to know. And when I got it in my Illumicrate box, I was very excited, and I really want to read it. I haven't heard many reviews of this. I've had a lot of people talk about it, but I can't really remember what most of them say. So this is more of a I'm excited to form my own opinion sort of thing. So those are 10 books I plan to read in the very near future. Let me know down below if you've read any of them and what you thought of them, and also which one you think I should read first, all of that good stuff. Just comment your thoughts down below, I'd love to know. Yeah, so I think that's all for now. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!